Good morning, students. Today we are going to start a new topic, that is the goodwill, and the main thing what we have to learn in this topic is valuation and accounting treatment of goodwill. So, without wasting time, let us try to see what are the things we have to learn here. So, before going to the valuation of goodwill, we have to know that what is the meaning of goodwill. And in case of meaning of goodwill, we have to keep in mind that goodwill is nothing but in simple term. If we want to define goodwill, then goodwill is nothing but the good name of a business firm. Now that good name can come from many things. It may be due to that good behavior of that salesperson or owner. It may be due to that good things that person keep in the business, or so on. Whatever may be the reason, does not matter. We have to keep in mind that goodwill means the good name or fame. Now, if we want to explain this one in a proper way or define in a proper way, then we can consider goodwill is the present value of expected future income that is in excess of normal return on the investment in tangible assets, or for the excess of price paid for a business as a whole over the book value or over the computed or agreed value of all tangible net assets purchased. So, what is the meaning of it? Let me give you a very simple example. Suppose you want to buy one business, and that business is running. The business is a running business. Now, before going to buy, forget about all other things. If you want to find out that what is the value of that business, then how should you calculate that value? There is a simple process. If you will follow that simple process, how we can calculate it? Simply just you take the balance sheet of the business, find out how much is the total asset, deduct how much is the total liabilities, and you will get that net assets, and that net assets could be the value of the business. But it may happen that you want to pay something extra money to the business. Now that question could be the why you are paying. And the reason behind that paying extra money here is the goodwill. Because that business firm is already a well established business firm, and you don't have to, the person who will buy that business, they don't have to do that initial struggle. The moment they will buy that business, they can start they can start it in a very high speed. So as that business has means already an established one, therefore the person who is buying, they may pay some extra money, and we consider that extra money we are paying for that business, that is nothing but the goodwill. We are paying for the goodwill of the business. Next topic we have to learn is the nature of goodwill. So in that nature of goodwill, what are the nature of goodwill? First one is it is an intangible asset, and students, I hope you can recall what is the meaning of intangible asset. Yes, you are right. It means that those assets which cannot be touched or seen, and goodwill is such kind of thing that you cannot see that goodwill, but the goodwill is there. Next point, second point is that it is a valuable asset. You have to keep in mind, although goodwill is an intangible asset, but it has some value, and we can calculate that value of goodwill. Number third point, it is helpful in earning excess profit. Why it is like that? Why goodwill help us to earn extra profit? Because the moment one business firm have some goodwill, people will like to visit that particular business firm, and as a result the sales of that business firm will go up, and that business firm will earn excess profit. Fourth point is it is the its value is liable to constant fluctuation. Why its value is liable to constant fluctuation? Because the moment if when we will read those valuation, the different methods of value the goodwill, that time we will see that profit is one of the most important component of valuation of goodwill. Now, as we know that profit of a business firm never can be same for every year. So, as the profit will increase or decrease or fluctuate, that value of goodwill will also fluctuate. Number five is it is difficult to place an exact value on goodwill. Why it is very difficult to place an exact value on goodwill? There are two reasons. One, that we just assume so many things for goodwill, and another thing is that whatever we consider, we take that past profits. As a result, it may happen that that may not be the exact valuation of goodwill. Next topic we have to learn, that is the factors affecting the value of goodwill. What are the different factors that affect the valuation of goodwill? And what are those factors? Number one is the favorable location of the business. Obviously, this is a big factor, because if just try to understand or imagine the situation, if a business firm situated in the GGS road, and if another business firm is situated in the Canary Hill, then obviously that which one will attract more customer? Obviously that one which is situated in GGS road, because that is almost in the heart of the town. So favorable location is a very important point for the valuation of the goodwill. Next point, it is the second point, efficiency of the management. If the management will work properly, then obviously that value of the goodwill will go high, because the people will like to visit that particular shop. Third point is the nature of the goods. Which kind of goods you are selling? If the goods are very much necessary goods, then people have to visit your shop, and as a result your goodwill may go up. Number four is the possession of license. What is the meaning of that? A license means that right to produce a particular product. Now if your company or your business have a right to produce a particular product, then obviously people have to visit to your shop or your business. For example, if somehow one company will get that vaccine of the COVID coronavirus, then obviously they will get that license, they will get that patent, and as they will get that patent, obviously people have to, if they people want to buy any that particular vaccine, then they have to go to your shop or your business. Fifth one is the monopolistic or other right. Monopolistic right means you know that if there is only one seller or very few seller and many buyers. Just you think about the situation of the telecommunication market of India. Although earlier there are several telecommunication companies, but now there is almost there are we can see that there are three companies, namely Vodafone and Idea, Airtel and Jio. But the situation of Vodafone and Idea and Airtel is very grim. They may shut down their business anytime. So almost one company is dominating in the Indian telecommunication market, that is the Jio. So as a result, if you have to buy any telecommunication if you have to take that connection from any mobile, then you have to go to Jio. As a result, the goodwill obviously will go up without any doubt. Next thing we have to learn, that is the need for valuation of goodwill. Why we need to value the goodwill? The reasons are: number one, when there is a change in the profit sharing ratio among the existing partners. Number two, when a new partner is admitted. Number three, when a partner is retires or die. Number four, when the farm is sold to some another business. And number fifth is that the farm is amalgamated with other farm. That means one farm merged with another farm. For example, as I told you that example of Vodafone and Idea. So these are the need for valuation. There are these times that valuation of the goodwill will come to existence, or we have to value the goodwill of a business firm. Next, let us go to the methods of valuation of goodwill. There are several methods. Let us at least three are there. Number one, the average profit method. Number two is the super profit method, and number three is the capitalization method. So let us first discuss the first one, that is the average profit method. Average profit method, the formula of average profit method, value of goodwill is equal to average profit into number of years of purchase. And how to calculate the average profit? Suppose 5 years profit is there, then add those 5 years profit and divide it by 5. Then you will get that average profit. Let us discuss this particular formula or particular method with an example. So let us have that example. In this, just read that question. The profit of the 5 years of a farm is as follows. Year 2013 rupees 4 lakh, year 2014 rupees 3,98,000, year 2015 rupees 4,50,000, year 2016 rupees 4,45,000, and year 2017 rupees 5 lakh. Calculate goodwill of the farm on the basis of 4 years purchase of 5 years average profit. Students, very much careful about this one. It is written 4 years purchase of 5 years average profit. That means you have to calculate the average profit of 5 years, but you have to multiply purchase by 4. Okay, so let us see how to calculate it. In this figure, students, please try to keep in mind this illustration I have taken from NCERT. In this NCERT, they have calculated this calculation they shown earlier, and the value of goodwill calculated at the end. So in this regard, you just keep in mind that I will suggest you that this valuation of goodwill, you write that one at the beginning. This valuation of goodwill you write at the beginning, and then make the working note, and there you make this one and this calculation of this. This calculation, this average profit calculation, this you make in the working note, and first you write this valuation of goodwill. Okay, so how to calculate that average profit? Very simple. You just add this for 5 years profit, this all 5 years profit, and total it came 21,93,000. Now average profit, as I told, average profit is equal to total profit of the last 5 years divided by number of years. So how much is the total profit? 29,93,000. And what is the number of years? It is 5 years. So what is the average profit? 4,38,600. So what will be the goodwill value? Value of goodwill, as we know, the formula is average profit into number of years of purchased. So average profit we have got 4,38,600. So 4,38,600 into 4, that number of years of purchase is equal to 17 lakh. If you multiply this 4,38,600 with 4, then you will get 17,54,000. So that is the value of goodwill. Students, so far we have learnt about that first method. And what is the first method? Right, average profit method. And what is the formula of the value of goodwill? The value of goodwill is equal to average profit into number of years of purchase. How should we calculate that average profit? Add all the profits given in that question divided by number of years of profit are given. Alright. In this regard, we have to keep one thing in mind, and that is very much important. That is, if for any year there is a loss, then you have to deduct that loss to calculate the average profit. So please keep this one in mind. Next method of valuation of goodwill is the super profit method. So what is the formula? According to this, value of goodwill is equal to super profit into number of years of purchase. So what is the new thing here? That is the super profit. What is the meaning of super profit, or what is the formula of super profit? First you learn that formula. It is average profit minus normal profit. How should we calculate that normal profit? Normal profit is equal to capital employed into normal rate of return divided by 100. So this is the formula. So let us recall first, then I am going to the next thing. So what is the value of what is the formula of valuation of goodwill according to the super profit method? It is super profit into number of years of purchase. Super profit is equal to average profit minus normal profit. How should calculate the normal profit? The formula is capital employed into normal rate of return divided by 100. Next, another formula is there, that is the capital employed. And although we have learned so many formula of capital employed in the chapter of ratio, but here as we are calculating it for that partnership firm, in the part B we have done that one for a company. Here we are doing it for a partnership firm. So capital employed is equal to total assets, and that total assets should be excluding goodwill. If there is already some goodwill in the balance sheet, you have to exclude that one. If there is any fictitious assets, that also you have to deduct or ignore, minus outsider liability. All the outsider liability you have to deduct. So that is the one formula of capital employed. Total assets minus outsider liability. And to calculate the total assets, what you have to do? You have to deduct if there is any goodwill in that balance sheet and if there is any fictitious assets. Now what is the meaning of fictitious assets? Fictitious assets are those assets which are just asset in name. They don't have any physical value attached, or just those things are just shown in the asset side of the balance sheet. For example, debit balance of profit and loss. We show that one in the asset side of the balance sheet, but it don't have any value. Alright, and from that we have to from the total asset we have to deduct the outsider liability. There is another way we can calculate that total capital employed, that is that total of capital of the partners plus reserve and surplus minus fictitious assets if any. So that is another way to calculate the capital employed. So total capital of the partners plus if there is any reserve or surplus, from that we have to deduct the fictitious assets. So first method what we have done, that method that can be called as the asset side approach, and the second method of calculating that capital employed is known as liability side approach. So we got that formula of super profit method. Now let us see how to solve one question. Now let us see one question and how to solve it. The question says that the books of a business showed that the capital employed on December 31st, 2015 rupees 5 lakh, and the profits for the last 5 years were 2010 rupees 40,000, 2012 rupees 50,000, 2013 rupees 55,000, 2014 rupees 70,000, and 2015 rupees 85,000. So student, I think it will be, instead of 2010 we consider it as 2011. Alright, and you are required to find out the value of goodwill based on 3 years purchase of the super profits of the business, given that the normal rate of return is 10%. Alright, so first thing first, again the thing what you have to do, this goodwill you should show here at the beginning, and this all other things, that is not this calculation part, we have to show in the working note. After that, valuation of goodwill. So as I have told you, value of goodwill is equal to what? Super profit into number of years of purchase. How to calculate super profit? Super profit is equal to average profit minus normal profit. So let us proceed towards it. So what is the normal profit? We know that normal profit is equal to capital employed into normal rate of return by 100. We know here in this question it is given that capital employed is the 5 lakh. So 5 lakh into normal rate of return 10%, 10 by 100. So 10% of 5 lakh is equal to 50,000. You are very intelligent and you calculate it very simply. Next, you have to calculate what? The average profit. Average profit is simple, as we have done earlier. So add those all profits given in the question, 40,000, 50,000, 55,000. This calculate these all profits, add those all, and if you will add those all, will get 3 lakh. So that is the total profit. Now how many years are there? There are 5 years. So we know average profit is equal to total profit minus number of years, and number of years are 5. So 3 lakh divided by 5 is equal to 60,000. So we got that average profit 60,000. We got the normal profit 50,000. Then what? How much is the super profit? Super profit is equal to average profit minus normal profit is equal to 10,000. Average profit 60,000, normal profit 50,000, and therefore super profit is 10,000. Therefore, goodwill will be super profit into number of years of purchase. That number of years of purchase is given for the 3 years purchase. So 10,000 is the super profit. Therefore, value of goodwill will be 10,000 into 3 is equal to 30,000. So students, this is the method of super profit method. So let us quickly recall what we have learnt in this topic. We have learned that valuation of goodwill according to the super profit method, and what is the formula? Valuation of goodwill is equal to super profit into normal rate of return. And what is the how to calculate super profit? Super profit is equal to average profit minus normal profit. How to calculate normal profit? Normal profit is equal to capital employed into normal rate of return divided by 100. How to calculate capital employed? Very simple. Total assets minus outside liabilities. Another way, total capital of the partners plus all the reserve and surplus minus fictitious assets if any. So that much we have learned, and we have seen one illustration too. Next method we have to learn, that is the capitalization method. And in that capitalization method there are two ways to calculate it. One is the capitalization of average profit and another one is the capitalization of super profit. So let us first see what is the formula of capitalization of average profit. The value of goodwill is equal to capitalized value of average profit minus actual capital employed. And how to calculate the capitalized value of average profit? That is equal to average profit into 100 by normal rate of return. So this is the formula of capitalization of average profit method. Value of goodwill is equal to capitalized value of average profit minus actual capital employed. And what is the capitalized value of average profit? Average profit into 100 by normal rate of return. And what is the formula of next method? It is the capitalization of super profit method. And what is the formula? Value of goodwill is equal to super profit into 100 by normal rate of return. And in this regard you have to keep in mind that value of these two methods, that is capitalization of super profit method and average method, the value of goodwill will always come the same amount, same figure. So let us have a solution, have a illustration. A business has earned average profit of rupees 1 lakh during the last 5 years, and the normal rate of return in a similar business is 10%. Ascertain the value of goodwill by capitalization average profit methods, given that the value of net assets of the business is rupees 8,20,000. So first of all we have to calculate that capitalized value of average profit. Average profit is 1 lakh. So how to calculate the capitalized value? So capitalized value of average profit is equal to average profit into 100 by normal rate, and that came 10 lakh. And as it is given here, the value of net assets of the business is 8,20,000. So we have to consider that 8,20,000 as the capital employed. So value of goodwill is equal to capitalized value minus net assets or net capital employed. So capitalized value is 10 lakh, capitalized value of average profit minus 8,20,000. Therefore the value of the goodwill is 1,80,000. I hope you understood this one. Now what you have to do, you have to calculate that the valuation of the goodwill according to the capitalization of super profit method. The same question, you have to calculate the valuation of goodwill according to the super profit method. Please try to solve these questions. Question number 13, question number 14, question number 15, and then 16 and 17. So these are the questions we had from the valuation of goodwill. Next thing what you have to learn, that is the accounting treatment. As we have valued our measured the value of goodwill of a business firm. Now the next most important thing is to record that particular value in our books of accounts. So in this topic, now we will learn how to record the value of goodwill in the books of accounts. So the first thing, there may be three situations related to treatment of premium for goodwill at the time of admission of a new partner. They are discussed as below. Okay. So the first one, first method is when the premium for goodwill is paid privately. When the premium for goodwill has been paid privately by the new partner. In that case, we don't have to pass any journal entry. No entries are required to be passed because it has been paid privately outside the business. Next, when the premium for goodwill brought in by the new partner. Now, in this regard, there could be two situations. One is the old partners retain the premium for goodwill in the business, or another that partners can withdraw that one. So, let us first discuss that when the new partners bought the premium for goodwill in the business and old partners retain the business retain the premium in the business. So, the first one, the journal entries are: first one, cash brought in by the partner, new partner as capital and premium for goodwill. Two things that new partner has to bring. One is capital of the partner and another one is the premium for goodwill. Premium for goodwill is nothing but the share of goodwill of the partner. And the journal entry is cash account debit, to capital account, to premium for goodwill. Next entry for distribution of the premium for goodwill. The premium for goodwill what that new partner brought, that has to be divided among the old partners, and the journal entry will be premium for goodwill account debit to old partner capital account. And here we have to write those old partners separately. Suppose if there are two partners A and B, so here we have to write to A's capital to B's capital. And this premium for goodwill has to be distributed among the partners in the sacrificing ratio. This is very important. You have to keep this one in mind. Let us try to solve this question. Sunil and Dalip are partners in a firm sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 5:3. Sachin is admitted in the firm for 1/5 share of profits. He is to bring rupees 20,000 as capital and rupees 4,000 as his share of goodwill. Give the necessary journal entries. This is the question. So, first entry, what you have to write, that premium brought in by the new partner. So, the journal entry will be cash account debit to new partner's capital account. What is the new partner's name? Sachin. So, to Sachin's capital account and to premium for goodwill. The Sachin's capital account is 20,000 and premium for goodwill is 4,000, and total we have to add and we have to write as 24,000 in the cash. Now, this premium for goodwill has to be divided among the old partners in the sacrificing ratio. So, in this regard, student, you have to keep in mind one thing. We know that sacrificing ratio can be calculated by deducting new ratio from the old ratio. Now, if you want to calculate on that way, you have to calculate that new ratio of the partners, and then you have to deduct that new ratio from the old ratio. Otherwise, there is a shortcut method to know the sacrificing ratio in these types of questions when only the new partner's share of profit is given. In that case, the old ratio will be the new ratio. Old ratio will be the sacrificing ratio of the old partner. So, please keep this thing in mind. So, this premium for goodwill has to be divided among the old partners in their sacrificing ratio. So, here you have to write premium for goodwill account debit
to Sunil's capital to Dalip's capital account. Now, if we distribute this 4,000 among those two partners in their sacrificing ratio, that is 5:3, then you will get 2,500 and 1,500 respectively. Okay. So, this is the entry, this is the method how to solve this one. So, two entries we have to pass if the new partners brought in the premium for goodwill and the old partners retain the premium for goodwill in the business. The word retain here means simply just opposite of withdraw, that the old partners didn't withdraw that money from the business. So, that is the meaning of retention, and in that case we have to pass two entries. First, for bringing that premium for goodwill and capital amount, we have to pass the entry cash account debit to new partners capital to premium for goodwill, and after that, that premium for goodwill has to be divided among the old partners in their sacrificing ratio, and in this case it was 5:3. So, next thing what we have to do, when the premium for goodwill brought in by the partner withdrawn by the old partners, and that new partners brought in the premium for goodwill, but the old partners withdrew that premium for goodwill from the business. In such a case, apart from the first two journal entries, what are the first two journal entries? For bringing up that capital and premium and distribution of the premium for goodwill among the partners. Apart from those two journal entries, we have to pass one more journal entry for withdrawal of the portion of premium for goodwill, and for that we have to pass the journal entry old partners capital account debit to cash account. In the cash account, we have to write the amount, the portion of premium withdrawn. It may happen that partner may withdraw the total amount of premium for goodwill, or it may happen they withdrew just a certain portion from the premium for goodwill. So, whatever portion they have withdrawn does not matter, we have to write that amount here, and that we have to distribute among the how much that partners have withdrawn, that has to be divided in the sacrificing ratio. So, let us see the one solution. That same question, Sunil and Dalip are partners in a firm sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 5:3. Sachin is admitted in the firm for 1/5 share of profits. He is to bring in rupees 20,000 as capital and rupees 4,000 as his share of goodwill. Give the necessary journal entries when the amount of goodwill is fully withdrawn. Here the amount of goodwill has withdrawn fully. So, first two entries, that is this one, bringing that capital and premium for goodwill and distribution of the premium for goodwill among the old partners in the sacrificing ratio. Apart from those two journal entries what we have seen earlier, apart from those two, we have to pass this third entry. Okay, and what is that journal entry? Sunil's capital account debit, Dalip's capital account debit to cash. How to distribute it? Very simple. You just first write down that how much amount has withdrawn, and here the whole amount of premium has been withdrawn. So, 4,000 we have written there, and now just 4,000 you distribute among the partners, among the old partners in the sacrificing ratio, and you will get the figure. So, that is the second way, when the premium for goodwill as part of the premium for goodwill has been withdrawn. Next case, that when that 50 means certain percentage, certain part has been withdrawn by the old partners, not fully. In that case, what to do? So just you see here, Sunil and Dalip are partners in a firm sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 5:3. Sachin is admitted in the firm for 1/5 share of profits. He is to bring rupees 23,000 as capital and rupees 4,000 as his share of goodwill. Give the necessary journal entries. And what is the, apart from that main question, what is different here, that the old partners withdrew 50% of the amount of goodwill. Alright. So first two entries, as usual, we have to pass cash account debit to new partners capital account to premium for goodwill, and then premium for goodwill account debit to old partners capital account in the sacrificing ratio. These two entries as usual we have to pass. Then third entry also you have already learned, that for the withdrawing of the premium for goodwill. So that also the same entry is same. Sunil's capital account debit, Dalip's capital account debit to cash, but the amount here is different. Here the half of the premium for goodwill has been withdrawn. And how much was the premium for goodwill? It was the 4,000. So 2,000 has been withdrawn. So 50% of 4,000 is 2,000. Therefore, I have written here to cash 2,000, and that has been distributed among the Sunils and Dalip in that 5:3, that is 1,250 and 750. So this is the method, this is the way how to solve when the partners withdrew a certain part of the premium for goodwill. It is nothing difficult. You just have to keep in mind that which part has been withdrew, and that only you have to write in the cash amount and distribute that amount in the old partners in the sacrificing ratio. So far we have learnt about what to do when that new partners brought in the premium for goodwill. But it may happen sometime that new partner, although able to pay the premium for goodwill, but that new partner is unable to pay the premium for goodwill. What do you have to do in such a case? So let us see. So the fourth condition is when new partner does not bring the premium for goodwill in cash. What to do? When the new partner does not bring his premium for goodwill in cash, then new partner's capital account has to be debited by his share of goodwill, and old partner's capital account has to be credited in their sacrificing ratio. And this particular entry we have to do in addition to the first entry, following entry has to be passed. Addition to the first entry means that bringing that capital account amount of capital. Apart from that entry, we have to pass this journal entry. And what is the entry? New partners capital account debit to old partners capital account. Capital account of the new partners debited with his share of goodwill, and capital accounts of the old partners is credited in their sacrificing ratio. So this is what if the new partner is unable to bring the premium for goodwill in cash. Then what you have to do? First you have to pass the entry for bringing the capital, cash account debit to new partners capital, and then we have to pass the next entry to adjust the premium for goodwill, that is new partners capital account debit to old partners capital account. And we have to just keep in mind to old partners capital account, old partners will be credited in the sacrificing ratio. So let us have a question. A and B partners sharing profits and losses equally. They admit C into partnership and a new ratio is fixed is 4:3:2. C is unable to bring anything for goodwill but brings 25,000 as capital. Goodwill of the firm is valued rupees 18,000. Give the necessary journal entries. Assume that the partners do not want goodwill appear in the balance sheet. Okay. So, this is the question. We know that old ratio equally 1:1, new ratio 4:3:2. Therefore, let us see how to solve it. So, first of all, you in the working note you calculate the sacrificing ratio, and how to calculate it. Old ratio of A and B was 1:1, new ratio of ABC is 4:3:2. Therefore, sacrificing ratio, we know the formula old ratio minus new ratio. So, A sacrificed how much? 1/2 minus 4/9 new ratio, and that answer came 1/18. Whereas B sacrificed 1/2 minus 3/9 is equal to 3/18. Therefore, sacrificing ratio is 1:3. Students, in this regard you have to keep in mind, when you are talking about sacrificing ratio, that time you have to just take that numerator, you do not have to consider it the denominator, right. So, only numerator, and what is the numerator? 1:3 here. So, the sacrificing ratio is 1:3. Now, what is the C's share of goodwill? As in that question it was given that total value, the value of the goodwill of the firm is 18,000. Therefore, C's share of goodwill will be equal to his share of profit. So, 18,000 into 2/9, this is the C's share, and if we will calculate that, then we will get 4,000. So, C's premium for goodwill is 4,000. So, let us see the journal entry. So, as usual we have to pass the journal entry cash account debit to C's capital account 25,000, that his share of capital, and then we have, as he is unable to bring his premium for goodwill, so we have to pass C's capital account debit to A's capital to B's capital. C's capital account will be debited with his share of goodwill, that is 4,000, and that has to be distributed among A and B in that ratio of their sacrifice, that is 1:3. Okay. So, this is the way we have to calculate it, or we have to show it. I hope you understood this calculation, and this whole calculation you understood, and hope you do not have any problem. Next, when new partners bring only a part of his premium for goodwill. Now, students, if you use your common sense, you yourself can give this answer. This is nothing new, because we have learnt first method what it was, that new partner brought the total amount premium for goodwill. Second method what we have learned, that the new partner is unable to bring the premium for goodwill. Now, here it is telling that new partner is able to bring a part of the premium for goodwill. That means it is a mixture of first method and second method. One part brought in by the new partner, and another part that new partner is unable to bring. So, the journal entry, the second journal entry, first entry will be as usual, cash account debit to new partners capital account to premium for goodwill. So, premium for in these two premium for goodwill, we have to write with the amount brought in by the partner. Okay. So, and the second entry will be premium for goodwill account debit, new partners capital account debit to old partners capital account. Premium for capital account will be debited by the portion of the amount brought in by the new partner. New partners capital account will be debited with the portion unable to bring by the new partner, and old partners capital account will be credited with the total amount. Now, and that also, this old partner's capital account has to be credited with the sacrificing ratio. So, just just you think that if that old new partner has to bring 5,000 rupees and the new partner is able to bring only 2,000 rupees. So, in this premium for goodwill we have to write 2,000 here. Out of 5,000 only 2,000 brought in by the new partner, therefore, how much that new partner has not brought? 5,000 minus 2,000 is equal to 3,000. Therefore, new partner's capital account debit will be 3,000 and total has to be divided in the sacrificing ratio in the old partner's capital account. Okay. So, if we will see one example here, A and B are partners sharing profits and losses equally. They admitted C into partnership and the new ratio is fixed in 4:3:2. C is able to bring only rupees 1,000 for goodwill out of his share 4,000, but brings total amount of capital, that is 25,000. Goodwill of the firm is valued at rupees 18,000. Give the necessary journal entries assuming that the partners do not want goodwill to appear in the balance sheet. So, first journal entry, pass that one. Cash account debit to C's capital to premium for goodwill. To C's capital, how much he has brought capital? 25,000. How much premium he could bring? C could bring 1,000. C's premium for goodwill 1,000. Alright. So, next entry, C's capital account debit, premium for goodwill account debit, to A's capital and to B's capital. Premium for goodwill, how much he has brought, that is 1,000, and C's capital account, how much he has unable to bring. He has to bring premium for goodwill 4,000, but he could bring only 1,000. So, how much C is unable to bring? 3,000. So, we got 3 plus 1 4,000 and that has to be divided among A and B in their sacrificing ratio. And what was the sacrificing ratio? 1:2. So, this 4,000 has been divided among them, among A and B in 1:2 ratio, that is 1,000 and 3,000. Next thing is very interesting and very vital too. If goodwill already appears in the old balance sheet, if any goodwill is already appearing in that old balance sheet and partners have to adjust that one, then it is very simple. We have to debit old partners capital account and we have to credit the goodwill, just to write it off. And in this regard, we have to keep in mind this old partners capital account has to be debited in their old profit sharing ratio. In this regard, students, any item from the old balance sheet, if you have to distribute among the old partners, then please keep in mind that you have to do that one in old ratio. So, everything is old. Any item from the old balance sheet, if it has to be distributed among old partners, then it should be always in the old ratio. So, please save this one in your mind's hard disk. So, next students, you have to solve this question, question number 18, question number 19, question number 20, 21, 22, 23 and 24 is here. So, first 23 and 24, then 25 and 26, and that is all. Hope you have understood these all matters. If you have any doubt, please ask me in the comment section. I will try to remove all of your doubts. Hope you have understood all these topics what I have dealt in this particular video. We'll meet you again. Till then, take care and enjoy study and be safe. take care of you and your family. Thank you.